It's that time of year. NFL prediction time. Who will win MVP? Who will make the playoffs? And which teams will face off in the Super Bowl? What's going on, football fans? It's Mitch here to react to First Things First. Nick Wright and the boys, their predictions for the 2024 NFL season, and I'm sure this is going to be absolutely ridiculous, so I can't wait to watch it. Once again, shout out to Ultra with the recommendation, and I already know that Nick is going to pick the Chiefs, so let's have some fun, man. Let's have some fun. Gronk spiked the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and comment your predictions for the 2024 NFL season. If you're wondering, Mitch, where are your predictions? They're coming soon, guys. Just be patient. They're coming soon. My full NFL season preview with my Super Bowl pick is coming soon. I've kept it a secret so far, so nobody knows who I'm picking quite yet. If you have a guess for who you think I'm going to pick, let me know in the comments. All right, let's get to it. Let's break down and react to First Things First, NFL predictions. Here we go.
It's the conclusion of Predictions Week. Today, we're tackling conference champions.
That Fox Sports NFL music is so tough, bro. I love it.
The Super Bowl, the MVP, and we unveil my picks, these guys' picks, Greg's picks, and Coach Mangini's.
Oh! Ooh, Mangini's getting in on the action.
Not here, but he's here in spirit.
Awesome. By the way, the title is Predictions Week. Nick, Brou share their Super Bowl MVP picks of the 2024 season.
So everyone's is different. You know what's going on. The floor is yours.
All right, so first we will reveal
Here we go.
all 14 of my playoff teams. And just keep in mind, America, when you are making your own picks, when you're listening to others, there are certain rules that info.
Oh boy, Nick's playoff teams. Recap. AFC, he has the Bills in the East, okay? I thought he said Josh Allen was overrated. He sucks. He's not that good. He's not that good of a passer. But he's still picking the Bills to make the playoffs despite the Dolphins and Jets having better rosters. If you think Josh Allen's overrated, why are you picking the Bills? Can somebody please explain that? The Chargers in the wild card is an interesting selection. I guess he needs to make the Chiefs division appear better than it actually is. So maybe that is the point behind that pick. The Chiefs, of course, to win the West. The Ravens in the wild card. The Bengals as the North champs, which I actually do agree with. The Jacksonville Jags as the wild card, which I also agree with. And the South champ, the Texans. So I actually agree with everything on the AFC side for Nick. The playoffs is maybe where we will disagree slightly, but hey, everything except for the Chargers, I think is fairly accurate. I think you definitely could put in Miami, the Browns, the Steelers, a lot of different teams. The Jets are not on here. I would definitely have the Jets in over the Chargers, definitely have the Jets in over Jacksonville. That's just my preference, though. In the NFC, Nick has the Cowboys, the Niners, the Rams, the Lions, the Bucks, the Bears, of course, winning the North, which is wild, and the Falcons winning the South. So, first of all, him having the Rams and the Bears winning their divisions, at least he does have the Niners in the wild card and the Lions in the wild card, but, like, this is really bad. Like, this is really bad, I think. I think his AFC is really strong, his picks. My personal opinion, I think that the Rams and the Bears picks are insane. And then he doesn't have the Eagles in the playoffs, which is really interesting to me, and I wonder what he has to say about that. I could see the Cowboys winning their division, don't get me wrong, but I don't currently have them in the playoffs, although I could definitely see them making the playoffs. I might even include them as my 7 seed in my final selections. I'm still kind of thinking that over, but the 49ers, the Lions, and the Bucks one, I don't really see. I just think the schedule is too tough, but I would love the Bucks to make the playoffs. Let's see what Nick has to explain here.
History tells us must be followed.
Facts.
You must have at least one worst to first. You must have at least 5 new playoff teams. You must have at least one team that everyone thinks is going to be really good that falls off. And as an added bonus, if you can find one of the trendy picks and fade that, that's good too. Worst to first for me, both conferences, the Bengals and the Bears.
I only see the Bengals. I don't really see any other team unless like Cousins gets hurt and the Panthers finish first or something like that. Like I can't see the Commanders. I can't see the Patriots. I can't see, I guess it would be the Chargers. That's only possible if Mahomes gets injured or something. That could always happen, right? Like, but I don't see it in the West because there's too many good teams in the NFC. Yeah, I think the Lions or Packers are ahead of the Bears, so I don't really see that one either. It's not a good year to pick multiple worst to first. I think only one is likely.
5 new playoff teams: Bengals, Jags, Chargers, Bears, Falcons. The Falcons are going to be a very popular one. The really good team that falls off, the Philadelphia Eagles. The trendy pick that I'm fading going against, you really have to pick between the Texans or the Packers. They both check those boxes.
So he's fading the Packers, which is interesting.
Last year was the Lions and the Jags.
I thought he was actually going to pick the Niners for that category, but I guess they're in the playoffs, but still having them as a wild card, I think is kind of fading them, to be honest.
Jags are the one that you fell off. Unfortunately, sadly, Trevor's terrible injury. For me, the Green Bay Packers. So those are the 7 playoff teams. So what will the conference championship weekend look like? Well, as you can see in the AFC,
so skipping through the playoffs,
I'm going with the 7 best quarterbacks in the conference.
Okay, this is interesting. So he has the Chiefs and the Bengals, which is a pretty safe pick. Honestly, like it's probably the safest pick just because it's been the AFC Championship game in 2021 and 2022. Right? Like it wasn't the AFC Championship in 2023. It is interesting though to me, like you look at the AFC, we basically had all the elite quarterbacks play in the AFC Championship. The only one, like since 2018, that wasn't elite was Ryan Tannehill. But you look at, okay, so Brady, Mahomes, Tannehill, which was kind of weird. But then we've gotten, since 2020, in the 2020s, we've gotten Mahomes, Allen. We've gotten Mahomes, Burrow. We've got Mahomes, Burrow. And then we got Mahomes, Lamar. So if you're just going based off quarterbacks, you could have Mahomes, Burrow. You could have Mahomes, Allen, you could have Allen, Burrow, you could have Allen, Lamar, you could have Lamar, Mahomes, you could have the only other one you would say maybe can enter that conversation is CJ. Can CJ get there? That could be the guy that kind of like implants himself into that conversation. Then you have the Bears and the Rams in the NFC, which has been the more unpredictable conference, although I would say there has been one team that's consistently been making this game, just as the Chiefs have in the AFC. That's the Niners. Niners are not in the game for Nick here. The Niners have made it every year since 2019, except for 2020. The Bears and the Rams. I think that is a borderline atrocious pick. At their absolute peaks for both teams, I could see it. At their absolute peaks. But I don't think both would make it. Maybe one, right? But again, I've talked about it. I think the Rams defense is atrocious. I'm worried about their offensive line health entering the year, and that could linger. I'm worried about the overall depth of the playmakers. If Cooper Kupp goes down, I think it's a little thin. Same as Puka Nacua, right? Stafford being older and like always kind of dealing with an injury. I love Sean McVay and I love Matthew Stafford. And again, guys, I just got a Rams shirt. I'm going to be wearing it on Sunday night against the Lions, another team that I really like. But I can't see it. I can't see it this year for the Rams. I thought they had an opportunity if they kept Ernest Jones, they added to their defense, and Aaron Donald didn't retire. I felt like this could have been the year that they did make a run back to the Super Bowl. But none of those things lined up for me. None of those things. So I don't see it. The Bears, I just think is a clickbait pick, like just to have Caleb in there. It's a clickbait pick. I could see them maybe making the playoffs and winning one playoff game, like one, but multiple as a rookie quarterback is very challenging. I just don't see that happening. And they're not good enough to me. Like the O-line has questions. Keenan Allen's fat. The defense, I think, is a little smidgen overrated. It's solid. It's good. But I don't think it's fantastic. I think the pass rush is pretty mid. So those are my takes on those championship games. You guys let me know your take on Nick's championship games. I feel like The AFC could hit. The NFC could miss pretty easily.
So for the conference,
honestly, both these teams in the NFC could miss the playoffs. That would be pretty embarrassing. I don't know how many times I've done that personally. I don't think I've ever done that in the BLV history. Maybe I'll do it this year, but I don't think I've ever missed like my conference championship games where both teams missed the playoffs. I don't think I've ever done that. That'd be pretty impressive if Nick pulled it off.
Championship weekend, I'm going with the 2 best quarterbacks in each conference. The 2 best quarterbacks in the AFC.
The 2 best quarterbacks in each conference is a take. So he thinks that Caleb and Stafford are the 2 best quarterbacks. Honestly, Stafford is the best quarterback in the NFC, in my opinion. But then you've got Dak, you've got Hurts, you've got Purdy, you've got Love. He doesn't even have Love in the playoffs. So obviously he doesn't think Love is very good. Those guys are obviously more proven than Caleb. He is a huge Caleb stan, though. So it is what it is.
Are Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow, and the 2 best quarterbacks in the NFC are Matt Stafford and Caleb Williams. Now, this is a little anticlimactic.
At least he's sort of backing up his Josh Allen's overrated take by saying Joe Burrow is the 2nd best quarterback in the AFC.
To a degree, because everyone knows I'm picking the Bears. Don't reveal it yet, though. But people don't know who I'm picking in the AFC. They're assuming I'm going to pick the Kansas City Chiefs.
He definitely is. He definitely is.
If you don't, I'm changing my pick.
People will change the channel.
Can I?
There's no.
May I have a moment?
Sure.
I'm a student of history.
Okay.
The league's been playing for almost 80 years. Mm-hmm. We don't have 3-time Super Bowl champions.
Not one.
Not in a row. 3 in a row.
Not Super Bowl.
Is he gonna pick the Bears to win the Super Bowl, bro?
Yeah, we have some 3 NFL champions. Also, have you guys heard me say this is the year for the Bengals multiple times?
Sure.
Have you guys heard me say that I'm
He's gonna pick the Chiefs.
worried about Mike Browning it after this year? Have you guys, heard me moderately concerned, I suppose, about Hollywood Brown's injury?
Hollywood's hurt. Left tackle's a rookie. Joe Tooney's old. Chris Jones got paid. Travis Kelce doesn't care about football anymore. He makes millions on a podcast.
About maybe a little, it's a lot of
Just saying.
Taylor Swift stuff going on. Bengals laser focus.
Are they?
You're really
Laser
right.
focus.
Didn't we do that yesterday?
Bro's selling this hard, hey?
They're not.
My playoff predictions in the AFC at Arrowhead Stadium. Some people call it Burrowhead
He's picking
Stadium.
the Chiefs, bro.
Chiefs
Come on,
kicked their
hurry
ass
up.
in that whole thing. The Chiefs and
There
Bears,
you
we
go.
already know I picked the Bears. And then in the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes, it's the Spider-Man meme, Patrick Mahomes against Patrick Mahomes 2.0, the original wins. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs are, of course, champions. So here are...
That was the most predictable thing ever. By the way, the guy's just become like a meme. He's picking the Bears to make the Super Bowl, bro. Come on. This is it. Not even Nicholas Gill would do this, bro. Shout out to Nicholas Gill.
And as an added bonus, because he's due to win it. It's been a full year since he won it. Patrick Mahomes also going to be league MVP.
Ooh.
So there it is.
Okay, so he has Mahomes as MVP. Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. His other boy, Mahomes 2.0, making the Super Bowl. The Rams in the NFC Championship game. The Packers not in the playoffs. What else? The Dolphins not in the playoffs. The Lions in the wild card. The Niners in the wild card. The Bucks making it, weirdly enough. The Cowboys in and the Eagles out. Some weird stuff there. Some interesting stuff.
My playoff teams, Super Bowl, MVP, write it in stone. America's most accurate sports prognosticator of 2022 will regain the crown for 2024.
Just say 2023. No one's.
I wasn't, though.
You gave it a
Stolen
nice.
valor. I'm not going to do that.
You ate for effort.
I'm not going to do that.
All right.
Does Greg Jennings get some predictions? I hope he picks the Packers.
We knew.
Greg, do you have a quick response?
Just that would just make good television, to be honest, because Nick didn't even have the Chiefs beating the Packers in the Super Bowl or anything like that. He didn't even have the Packers in the darn playoffs, bro.
I want Brou to go
I
because
just
you've
want
got your
Brou to
whole.
go. Oh, you want me to go?
Nick act like he
Give me the
wasn't
mic.
gonna pick-
Yeah, you
Give me the
try.
mic.
You try.
We have
You
to.
Greg Jennings.
The mics are actually in our top.
I'm an independent
Brou.
thinker,
Okay.
a nonconformist, a rebel, if you will. All right?
Okay, because Nick yesterday said you had all the same.
No.
As Vegas,
Nick is going with his rules. You gotta have a last to first. You gotta do the.
Bro.
I'm a rep.
Nick, this is basically ultra for anybody out there. This is ultra. He's got to have his rules. I don't pick that garbage. Durcan, same thing, bro. Durcan picks all, he's got to have this and that. Just pick. Come on, man. Just pick.
I am going with who I think is going to forget the rules.
So just
all right?
the same
Rules are made to be broken. No, it's not the same.
Okay, so we got the Jets as the East champ. That's new. The Chiefs, the Ravens as the North champ, and the Bengals as the wild card. The South champ, the Texans, that's 2 for 2. Bills as a wild card, Dolphins as a wild card. That would only mean 2 new AFC playoff teams, which is fair enough. NFC, he has 1 new playoff team, which again, usually there's an average of 5 based on the rules. But honestly, when you look at this, that's probably the standard prediction for the NFC. It's probably the most popular. I would say the Packers, I would have them above the Cowboys and the Rams, but regardless of order, I feel like that's pretty much the popular pick. Now, in terms of the Jets over the Bills is pretty interesting, and the Dolphins, all 3 of them making the playoffs, I think that's pretty fascinating. Patriots must suck. The Cowboys making it and the Eagles making it is not something that is too popular. Let's see.
The Bengals weren't in the playoffs last year. The Falcons weren't in the playoffs last year. I got some different teams, so those are my. Those are my playoffs.
The Jets.
The Jets. I mean, yeah, my goodness, and I got them winning the division. So those are my playoff picks. But let's get to the real meat of this.
Okay.
The championship round.
I don't know what you're.
Call it in the AFC, the Ravens' revenge.
Ooh. The Ravens' revenge. I've heard this pick. It's very popular. A lot of people are picking the Ravens this year. I don't really get it. Like, I don't know how you've been following their offseason and just the vibe of that loss and, like, still pick them to win the Super Bowl, given the track record of Lamar in the playoffs. I just can't do it this year. Like, last year, I could have saw it happening, but, like, man, I can't do it this year. Packers-Lions is interesting. I've already talked about how I've contemplated that matchup. I feel like that could definitely happen.
All right.
Well, also, man, we had the Niners and the Rams in the NFC title game a couple years ago. It's been a minute since we've had one of those.
I have my purple Jordans. I have my Versace robe. I have my sunglasses, my sandwich, and my soda pop upstairs in my office waiting. I know it's 5 months from now.
The old sandwich.
But they are waiting for that Monday after the AFC Championship when I can come in here, kick my feet up because Lamar and the Ravens have gone into.
This must be a narrative thing for him, for sure. Because I think he picked the Ravens to beat the Chiefs in the AFC Championship, like most people did. He got it wrong. Nick made fun of him. I think it's a narrative thing on the show, but
Arrowhead. It's going to have to be an Arrowhead.
Maybe that's why it makes sense.
Oh.
They have gone into Arrowhead and gotten their
What about on
revenge.
the other
So
side?
the Ravens will beat the Chiefs to get to the Super Bowl. Now, I know that.
Another prediction without the Niners in the NFC Championship. Just pointing that out. Nobody's picking the Niners this year.
I think Nick thought I was going to go with the Niners. Right.
Also, no Bills at all. No Texans, which has been kind of a sexy pick.
Look, the Niners,
You're a Brock.
they're a good team. I'm a Brock Purdy guy, but I pick with my head, not my heart. I'm a Mahomes guy. I'm the first to ever say it was Jordan Ness to predict this greatness that
Sports
came.
Illustrated, right?
Absolutely. Was Grant Cohn write that story?
What? No,
He might have wrote
I don't know.
that. So in the NFC, you see I got the Packers and the Lions. One of them is going to take out the Niners before this game. And this is a tough one because I had the Lions winning the
I think those are the two teams that would have to beat the Niners. I agree.
division. All right? But the Packers, when you guys won it, you were a wild card. 10 wins. I got the Packers and Jordan Love beating the Detroit Lions.
Wow.
And Jordan Love will follow in the footsteps of Brock Purdy and Joe Burrow and all the Russell Wilson and all these quarterbacks who have gotten to the Super Bowl in their second season as a starter.
Another point why you could pick the Texans. Just pointing that out. Texans. Second-year quarterback. The Mitch theory, by the way. Tom Brady. Ben Roethlisberger. Russell Wilson. Patrick Mahomes. Just saying.
And then they will lose to the Baltimore Ravens in the Super Bowl.
That would be tough.
Look, Lamar.
Hey, that'd be cool. Not going to lie. Been hating on the Ravens a lot this offseason just because of how I feel about the team, not because of anything personal. But I do feel like the Ravens winning the Super Bowl would be cool. I'd be down for it. Lamar, that would definitely change narratives big time.
Is focused. Lamar is urgent. I see optimism. I don't see, him thinking about last year's loss to the Chiefs. He has done nothing but prove everybody wrong, and I think he's going to finally do it this year in the Super Bowl and get that championship.
So
Excellent.
this is
So he has Jets, Chiefs, Ravens, Texans, Bills, Dolphins, Bengals, Eagles, Niners, Lions, Falcons, Cowboys, Rams, and Packers. Then it's Ravens over Packers in the Super Bowl MVP, Patrick Mahomes. So that's 2 for 2, MVP Patrick Mahomes. Wow. Out on a limb with that one, guys.
if I may, Brou. Oh, so who's
here we go.
Sorry.
Look, I think Patrick's going to have a great year. I love that he said last year wasn't fun. I'm sure it's fun winning Super Bowls, but, the regular season, because he couldn't do all the great things he can do. Xavier Worthy obviously has to stay healthy, but I think he's going to be dangerous, and they got to get Hollywood Brown back. He'll probably be back.
Hollywood Brown to me is like, bro, the most like overrated ad of the offseason. Like they signed him to like a 1-year, $5 million, $6 million deal. He's already hurt. He's constantly injured. He's soft. Like, could he bring some speed? Yeah. When he's on the field, I think Worthy is going to be the guy. I think Worthy. I think it's going to be Rice breakout year, Pacheco potentially breakout year. Kelsey will take a little bit of a step back. Worthy will be the guy that adds that extra element to the Chiefs that they've been missing. I don't think it will be Hollywood. I think he'll be too inconsistent.
Week 2, week 3, and then it's going to be a show for Patrick Mahomes.
So something, because I was certain the Niners were at least going to be in your Final Four.
Yes.
And potentially, I thought the Ayuk news might have put it over the top.
And Dusty knows.
So disrespectful to the Niners.
I did. It was tough for me to make that decision.
You're
I almost went for the Niners.
To the point where I was like, can you please get...
These guys are going to make me pick the Niners now again. I don't even want to, bro. What? Can someone else pick the Niners so I don't have to?
Bruce.
I was scouring, kind of like last year with the
Right. But just something occurred to me before you go, Greg. This is now the second straight year where one of your 2 Super Bowl picks I had missing the playoffs.
Yes.
The last year was the Ravens, and you were more right than I was. Obviously, they didn't make the Super Bowl, but they made it all the way to the conference championship game. This year, it's the Packers, where I think the Packers are, going to be similar to what they were last year in the regular season. Brou is with the Packers, a lot of people.
I think the difference is going to be their defensive coordinator improvement, some of the younger players at receiver and on defense just improving as players, and then Jordan Love's consistency. Last year, Love in the first 6 games was pretty inconsistent and honestly bad for parts of that. I feel like he's just going to be at a different level this year for the entirety of the year. So that's going to elevate them past what they were early last year. So I don't see a 9-8. I think, they will definitely be better than that.
Are very high on the Packers. That's a compliment, not a slight, but yeah, okay.
Okay, Greg.
All right.
Greg.
So, I'm a little smarter than
Greg Jennings.
both of you. I have a little bit more
Listen to this man. He carried the team on his back with a broken freaking leg.
experience, so I'm just going to give it to you like this. These are my 7 teams in the AFC and NFC.
Okay, so I think this is an order. Texans, Chiefs, Bengals, Jets, Dolphins, no Bills, Ravens, Colts. Anthony Richardson makes the playoffs. No Bills. That's the big one for Jennings. NFC. Lions, Rams, Eagles, Cowboys. What? Oh, so I guess the Falcons are I don't know why. The Falcons should be whatever. I don't know if this is in order then, because that's not the way that divisions work. The Cowboys aren't in the South. The Packers, the Bears. So 3 NFC North teams make the playoffs. That's actually what I had in my latest predictions. No 49ers. I think I have to take the 49ers to win the Super Bowl now, guys. We have 2 guys that say they won't make the NFC Championship, and 1 guy who says they won't even make the playoffs.
It is what it is. And if you notice, I know there's no glitch.
There's no Jags.
There's no glitch on your screen. I want you to
There's no Jags.
really focus on who's not represented.
No Bills.
The AFC.
This guy hates the Niners, though, doesn't he? Probably does.
NFC
No
The
Jags.
NFC.
and the
There's no Buffalo.
AFC. There's
Yeah,
no
no Niners.
49ers.
That's-
What is Greg doing? You know what?
Yeah, I'm wondering, what
you know
are
what?
you doing?
Everyone is so bullish on the Niners.
No, they're not. We just discussed it. They're not. Who? Can you name one person?
And I
Mitch Milani.
thought to myself, I really like the Niners. I love that they got Ayuk done. There's just a little bit too much going on right now, and I think Brock Purdy's dealing with that, not going to handle that great. So we'll see. They may be on the outside looking in. I also feel like their older team going to struggle with being healthy all season long.
That could happen.
That's why I had to leave them out. You see, I got the Bears in there in the AFC. Yep. I got to respect to the Bears. In the AFC,
Colts.
yes, I had to put the Colts in there.
No,
I am a believer
I think the Colts might finish last in their division.
in Anthony Richardson. It was tough for me to even put the Dolphins in there because I tickled with.
The problem with the Dolphins to me is that we have this image of the Dolphins and what they are in the regular season and the postseason. And the regular season form gets them to the playoffs, but then once they hit the playoffs, they're so bad that it makes you regret picking them to make the playoffs. So it's like you don't even want them to make the playoffs because they're so bad once they get there that it's like, what's even the point? Just pick somebody else. It's kind of like the Steelers, you know? Recently, the Steelers.
Your Jags.
Oh.
There might be 3 out of the South, but I was like, I can't
Can
do
I
it.
ask
You had
about
no
the Bills
Bills,
not being
right.
No
here?
Bills.
So that's the one that jumped out to me.
Yeah.
In the AFC.
So here's my deal on the Bills. I just feel like right now with Josh Allen, I don't know if I can trust him to actually be what's needed without all the weapons. I know it
Thank
was.
you.
I know
What weapons? What weapons has he had?
it was exciting. I know he ended the season very well.
Bro has 1 receiver his entire career and all these weapons he's had. Meanwhile, Burrow and Mahomes and Tua.
Well and strong. However, we haven't seen him with no-name weapons that he
2019, they made the playoffs in his second season. They didn't have Diggs on the team. I think it was John Brown was his number 1 receiver. They made the playoffs.
has to
And he wasn't nearly as good as he is now.
bring to our TV screen and say he's going to be a player because I'm going to elevate their level of play. I don't know if he can do that this season, and that's why you don't see the Bills.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
With my Super Bowl
Let's see.
picks,
Who is it? What is it?
we can go
I like the little talk in the background.
with that guy. And if I had my flag, I would put it down here.
Oh, he's gonna
Yeah.
do.
Woohoo! We got
Wow.
the
Okay.
Detroit Lions representing the NFC.
CJ.
Wow.
CJ Stroud and no.
Okay, finally we got a Texans pick. Finally. Felt like we weren't going to get one, but Texans, Lions in the Super Bowl. Okay. I don't hate that pick at all. I think that's a very solid pick.
Now, when somebody is your guy, With C.J. Stroud, you my guy. Clearly.
Why'd you pick Daniel Jones?
I put my flag right there in front of the desk, on top of the desk. C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans take on the Detroit Lions. I really believe in Dan Campbell and what he's going to do. I think they're going to take that jump. I really like the Lions this year. It was tough for me. You took the Packers, so respect there. And then winning the MVP, I mean, come on. Do we need to?
Wow.
C.J. Stroud, he's going to have a year.
Wow. A heck of a year.
I mean,
You know what? L'Jarius Sneed, he still won't be Patrick Mahomes.
You know what? If he does what you said, and obviously he's not Mahomes, does that become a rival for Mahomes?
If he beats him in the playoffs,
Yeah, because nobody really has.
That's the thing with Stroud that's so enticing, is like he's kind of the next one, right? And he's never faced Mahomes yet. So if he beats him, it's going to be like such a good narrative. Like it's going to be so good. Leading into 2025, it's going to be like must see. So I kind of hope it happens I kind of hope like at least
and so
somebody beats Mahomes just for the narrative alone. Like we need something. Like we need like Brou, like Allen finally doing it, Lamar finally doing it, or Stroud. We need somebody to do it. Jordan Love maybe. But that's NFC. I want AFC.
both have a second-year starter. Jordan Love's obviously not a second-year player, but a second-year starter in the Super Bowl.
You do. You have a rookie.
I do. Yeah.
So, excellent job.
Thank you.
A lot of parallel thinking between us.
Uh-oh.
How many times has a rookie quarterback made the Super Bowl?
Here's my.
I gotta see this.
Well, you know what they call me? The straw that stirs the drink.
They do?
Yeah.
I've never.
What? Okay, the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Texans, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Browns, okay, and the Bills. All right, I don't agree with the Chargers pick. I think the Browns pick is a little... I just don't trust Deshaun Watson, bro, but I could see it. I could see it for sure. The other picks, I don't love Miami winning their division over the Jets and Bills, but no Jets again. NFC, Cowboys, Lions, Bucks, Niners, at least Niners are in there, Cardinals, woo, hot, and the Rams and the Eagles. So Rams and Chargers, or sorry, not Rams and Chargers, Cardinals and Chargers. That's interesting.
Ever heard that attached to
The Browns?
Oftentimes. Okay, I'll just go from the top.
The
Dolphins.
Browns?
Do I believe in the Dolphins? Yes. Mike McDaniel just got a new deal. We believe in Mike McDaniel. We believe in Tua. Obviously Lamar. Obviously CJ. Obviously Mahomes. Chargers.
That's a good one. You got
I
some gutsy
believe
picks.
in the vibes. I believe in Harbaugh. I believe in the staff. Browns. You might be thinking, Browns? I don't know. What about the quarterback situation?
Browns are really talented. I understand it. It's just the quarterback. I don't understand the Chargers.
You tell me. Defense wins championships. They've got a good defense, and I literally saw them go to the playoffs with Joe Flacco. If I came on here last year and be
Don't disrespect the elite quarterback, Joe Flacco.
like, you know what? I think the Browns are so good, they could get to the playoffs with Joe Flacco. I'd be laughed out onto 54th Street, but I still believe him. Then the Bills. It was tough for me to leave totally out the Bills, but I don't believe in Joe Burrow because Trey Wingo said the vibes are bad, and as you know, king of vibes. On the NFC side, Cowboys in, Lions.
No Bengals. I just noticed that. Oh my goodness. No Bengals. Wow.
In. Bake Show, I'm never leaving you. San Francisco, then, oh, I can't quit you. I can't
At
quit
least
you.
his bowls, that one.
That's his worst to first.
Well, it's not even worse
to
to
something.
The Cardinals. They don't have a defense. I get it from an offensive standpoint, but defensively, I get it from a Kyler. I can buy in. It's just like, if the Cardinals were better than the Rams and the Seahawks, I wouldn't be shocked. Honestly. It's just the defense, man. I can't. But the Rams defense sucks too.
Worst to playoffs. Yeah.
No, they make it. Some team has to be the weird team.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be the Patriots. It's, although the Titans, we started to flirt with
The
the Titans.
Commanders could
within
be.
the Commander, a number
All the
one
way.
pick, and that we've seen be explosive and get to the playoffs before. Yes. Has he had a weapon in his prime? Yeah, DeAndre. But now with Marvin, I think Marvin's going to be great. So yes, I'm rolling with the Cardinals. Got to be a crazy one.
Can I ask you a couple questions?
Of course.
All right, so first of all, you have 2 new playoff teams.
Yeah.
That's worse than Brew's 3. 2 new playoff teams.
Although
the
it seems kind of like there's
am I
more,
missing one?
just
The
'cause
Chargers and the
Cardinals
Cardinals.
Chargers
Everyone
are so
else
wild.
made the playoffs last
And
year,
the
right?
Browns.
Well, I put the Browns in.
The Browns,
But no one's taking
The Browns made it last year. Yeah.
Made the
I know,
playoffs.
but no one's taking the Browns this year.
All right, but then and
That's
you
not
have a
how it
bold one in the
works.
Cardinals. But you have the Bengals missing.
I don't believe in
Entirely.
vibes. I do not believe in the vibes.
Okay.
And I
got
don't believe in injury-prone quarterbacks.
Okay.
If Joe Burrow lasts a full year, I think Joe
What about Deshaun Watson, bro?
Burrow's skating a little bit. All this Lamar criticism, a lot of Josh Allen criticism. Joe Burrow's like, hey, I got a new haircut. Remember when I was in the Super Bowl and lost? Like, yeah, I remember. I don't like bad vibes.
Okay.
In the Super Bowl,
Consistent.
this is when it gets a little bit confusing, but bear with me. Because as you know, I treat my takes like a roulette wheel. Yeah, you can put a chip here and put a chip that seems to conflict on the other side. Doesn't matter. I'm going to win one of them probably. Super Bowl. Please reveal.
Niners!
49ers.
Somebody
Over the
pick
Dolphins.
the Niners. Thank you.
And I know what you're...
Now I don't
Dolphins.
have to do
I
it.
believe in Tua.
Somebody pick the Niners. But also Tua? Tua's not making it through December and January. Come on, bro. Yeah, let's be mature. Let's think about it. Tua's not going to Arrowhead. He's not going to... Oh, I guess, I don't know if Miami's the number 1 seed. If Miami's the number 1 seed, I guess there's a chance. I will give it that. They need that number 1 seed if this is ever going to happen for Miami. But I just don't see it. If Miami goes to Baltimore, if Miami goes to Kansas City, if Miami goes to Cincy, if Miami goes to Buffalo, it's just too cold for them. Now, if they played the Texans and the Chargers, then maybe, but the Niners and the Dolphins, that'd be a Shanahan-McDaniel. That would be a pretty fun week, to be honest.
And I believe in Miami. And I believe they can. I know. Don't say it.
That would be
I
the-
think they're going to have home field for the playoffs. I think they're going to have home field
Yeah,
for the playoffs.
exactly.
Be nice and toasty. And I know what Chiefs
better
Kingdom is
have
saying.
home field.
Didn't we kick this guy out at Chiefs Kingdom? And then we had to bring him back in, and he's going to be out again. Well, look, as everybody knows, I'm a Mahomes guy. And I'm beloved in Kansas City. They call me Kansas City's favorite adopted son.
Yeah.
That's a true story.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Super Bowl MVP.
So we picked regular MVP.
I'm doing Super Bowl MVP
He's
and
the
my
only
regular
one to
season
pick the Super Bowl MVP.
MVP. Please reveal. Look.
What? Huh?
I'm not betting against the guy. Do I believe in the Dolphins? Yes,
So
I
stupid,
do.
bro.
But let's be honest. I pride myself
Only
on
you.
transparency for the show. Do I think the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl? I do.
Wait, what?
What?
Just listen. The show doesn't work if we all
Yo,
pick
this
the
is-
Chiefs, okay? Is that what you want to hear?
Yo, this is such a Mitch take.
It's a little entertainment, okay? You want to see my FanDuel account? Might not look exactly the same. But I got to stir it up a little bit. That's why they call me the straw that stirs the
And
drink.
also, Tua Purdy would definitely shatter the record for least arm strength in the Super Bowl. Like,
You know,
I mean,
my
it would
shadow-
be.
That
I
would
mean,
be
I don't.
really
We'd have to go
interesting.
back.
Oh my
in the
God.
archives.
Oh, you-
Like,
what's
I
that?
don't even.
All right. Well, a little Tua slander and Purdy slander right there, but we're going to end it. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was pretty interesting. I'm glad someone finally picked the Niners, but also like I like some of the picks in here. I disagree with some of the playoff picks, like the high nature of the Chargers. That thought the Cardinals was a little outlandish, but you've got to have a curveball every once in a while, right? I think people are too high on the Rams overall. I think Nick has taken drugs with the Bears, but if you have the Chiefs in there, the Bengals in there, the Texans in there, the Ravens in there, if you have the Packers, the Lions, the Niners, or the Eagles even, the Eagles, they seem very low on the Eagles. Nobody really picked them to go to the championship game. I kind of feel like there's like 8 teams that can get to the Super Bowl this year, and that's kind of how I feel. Maybe 9, but that's about it. That's how it is every year, though. So you guys let me know in the comments your predictions for the season. I will be coming out with my full, complete predictions, including my Super Bowl winner and my Super Bowl MVP. And I will not have Mahomes winning the MVP and the Niners winning the Super Bowl. That's not going to happen. Thank you guys for watching. It's Mitch. Peace.